So 1 year later, let's talk a little bit more about how we can't just think really hard to burn more calories. Now, this myth comes from a not unreasonable place. Oh, hi, Kat. Because although the brain is only 2% of our body weight, it does burn 20% of our daily resting calories. And so on the surface, it is actually reasonable to say, well, can't I think harder in order to burn more calories? This is especially reasonable given that only 25% of the brain's energy consumption is for what you might call housekeeping activities, maintaining the cells, things like that. The other 75% is used for information processing based on our best MRI data. And if you engage in something like a complicated visual task, you will see an increase in energy consumption, sometimes around 1%, in the visual cortices. But here's where the problem lies. At the same time, your brain generally downregulates activity in other areas like, say, the auditory cortex. Think of it like your brain prioritizing activity for the task you're using, so the overall consumption still remains fairly consistent. So why do we feel tired when we engage in some really rigorous mental activity? Probably the stress. Seems more likely to be related to things like the increase in, say, cortisol levels that you might experience if it's a stressful thing that activates you and makes you feel anxious. And some of that fatigue could even be peripheral if you sort of agitate yourself, but also mental, that you've just exhausted your ability to process and need some downtime. Kind of the same effect that you experience throughout the day when you eventually need to go to sleep and just stop thinking about work. So no, there's still no way to just extra think some calories away.